I got a 92-foot boat. I got cars. I got, house. I got just fucking so much shit. It's crazy, bro. And at a certain point, you get to see what actually has value, right? Like, the boat's cool. You know why I like the boat so much?
Why?
Because I get to give it to other people.
Yeah.
Yesterday I had, I don't even know, 40 people. They're all having a great... I could give a fuck if I'm on a boat or I'm sitting in a shack, bro. I swear to God.
Yeah.
But to be able to sit there and watch everyone having a great time, having a blast, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why I like that stuff.
Another episode of Adversity Kings. Got Mr. Eric Spofford. How's it going today, brother?
It's good, man. I love the name of that show.
Yeah.
Adversity Kings.
Yeah, man. So
I love that.
It was actually inspired from my mom. My mom was she hates when I do this, but she was the first one to go away. And so she went away when I was like 7 or 8 years old.
Well, she went to the joint?
Yeah, she did federal. So it was like, the way she wants me to get the exact details, she did like 10 or 11 months, but they...
She's very specific.
Yeah, very specific, because I blow it out of proportion. 2 years my mom was down there and everything like that, but she did 10, 11 months. It was like Camp Cupcake or something in West Virginia, but I think she was with like some big names were there with her, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was some federal. And so she went away, I was like 8 years old, and then... But it was child custody process as well. So it was really 2 years that I was away from her. It was like 8 to 10. In that process, I was with my pops. And then he woke up one day. And it was really similar. I was listening to your story through Andy Frisella, through your story that's on your page. And I really wanted to do a deep dive aside from what I heard. You know what I mean? Because I already heard successful guy, had a massive exit, genuine, down to earth. I was like, I need to do a little more. And so I'm listening to the story. I'm like, real similar. My dad was a man's man. And the only time I've ever seen him cry is he woke up one day and he said, I got to go away. And I was like, man, this shit's happening again. Because my mom did that and I was still young. I was like 7 or 8. I didn't know what was going on. He did it and I was like, broke my entire soul. I immediately became this just angry child. But he went away. And I was 10 years old, and he went away the rest of my, did only 5.5, 6 years. First call I got from him, and this is where it, really hit home, because when I was listening to your story, I don't know if this is similar. First call I got from him was from a halfway house. So I don't know when you were developing the sober houses and the halfway houses, if you incorporated guys that were, leaving, and then kind of like they try to rehabilitate you into society.
We got a lot of guys out of the Department of Corrections. We weren't contracted, and we weren't like a Department of Corrections facility, but we did get a lot of people, men and women, that were wrapping up sentences that, had some sort of legal intervention, that their kind of primary thing was substance use, addiction, alcoholism, and they got jammed up with whatever it was. And so, yeah, man.
That's where the AK came from, though, because my mom she raised me and my little sister basically from nothing. You know what I mean? It was food stamps, food bank lines, and she'd work 3 jobs, and that was the only assistance we had, was the food stamps. Everything else, because she would always be like, well, it's not welfare, it's not full welfare, we're just on the food stamps, and they would bicker. And so one time my dad was away, but he got the food stamps shut off, and I love them both to death. But you know how young parents and everything like that, they would bicker. But she would work 2-3 jobs like a dog, and I would see her just cry so many different nights.
So did they pass each other? She was coming home and he was going?
Essentially, you know what I mean? He was coming and she was going. There was a small period of time where it was the grandparents, because everything was done essentially through court. I remember spending so much time going in and out of courthouses and having to sit there and almost like one parent, testify for this one, testify for that one. And it was kind of rough as I reflect back.
What was it? It was a drug case?
No, it was all money related. So I think it was mainly money related, tax evasion, contracts, different things like that. But both are great now. You know what I mean? I got nothing but love and respect. Both have been incredible. Got phenomenal stories from both. But the AK, I got 2 lions on both ribs, and that's where I got it from both of them. Is I was never allowed to quit anything. I was never, from my dad, never allowed to show any emotion, and mom was never allowed to quit anything. But my mom was a big, you're going to work first and play later. She always found a way. So that's where I got the AK. I think at 17, I started saying AK because I was 15, and she was cleaning my room or something, going through my room once. She goes under my bed. She pulls out a High Point 45. She's like, she starts crying, calling me, what are you doing with this? I never shot. I'd never done anything. I just wanted to fit in. We weren't in a crazy area, but we were in that area that you move a little, you do a little, just little things, nothing crazy. She's like, you're going down the wrong path. You're going to throw your whole life away. Serial number was scratched off. So I didn't know anything about it, but she was like, with the number scratched off, it could be way worse. You know what I mean? Than you even know. They'll just assume there's a body on it or something. house got shot up at 17, and that was like the turning point. You know what I mean? Somebody fired like 1 or 2 9mm straight through the window. I kicked these guys out of the party, and that's when I realized, like, man, I gotta, from my mom and the Adversity Kings, I just cemented it in. That's my brand. Got into insurance and
Love it.
man, just started reaching out. You know.
Oh yeah.
Here we are, 7 years later, connected with Eric Spofford, dude. Incredible.
Happy to be here, man.
Incredible, dude. So I put in my notes, New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Grew up in Salem, New Hampshire. Your parents divorced at 10. You got a blue-collar dad, owned a small tree removal company. I don't want to rip your entire story, but you've already given it. So I want to try to take a different spin off of it from what people have already seen. And I want to just kind of get some genuine reflection. Where you're at now in your life, as you reflect back and you help so many people, you owe me nothing. You know what I mean? For you to respond to me, be genuine, give me your time. Dude, why are you the way that you are?
What do you mean?
Man, like, just as you reflect back on life, like, obviously it constructed you and it built you into the person that you are. But like, where you are right now, as you look back, how did that all kind of impact who you are today?
Oh man. I mean, as far as like when you reached out to me, I get a lot of requests to do podcasts and different stuff. And honestly, a lot of them I have to say no to because I hate doing them on Zoom. I fucking can't stand that shit. And, I just don't have time to travel. And so because you were local, that made it easy. But then I checked out your page. I seen you were building, young guy, getting after it. I watched some of your stuff, talking about positivity, personal development, and really like seeing you as a young leader have an impact in your world, in your circle. And it reminded me of myself when I was 25 years old, which was now 14 years ago.
Yeah.
So that was a while ago.
Yeah.
And from when I made the decision for good and all to change my life, which was December 7th of 2006, to today, which was, a little more than 17 years later, there have been so many people that have like had everything ahead of them, right? But taking the time to pause and turn around and look behind them and stick their hand out to me when they didn't owe me anything.
Yeah.
And that's from day one, bro. That's from, like, I'm just so grateful that so many people took the time to pour into me in so many different ways. And that's, when I was 21, 22 years old, walking into Alcoholics Anonymous after trying and failing to get sober repetitively for 5 years.
Yeah.
And the old timers and these men that were, I had nothing to offer them. And they gave me everything. And they loved me. They told me the truth. They were hard on me, but they cared about me, And then all the way up to like business mentors that I've had that have taken the time and given freely to me. And so, I think that a lot of our internal condition, this Instagram thing, this social media, this personal brand is funny in a lot of ways, because if I put up a video of me talking like I'm talking right now, engagement will be all right. If I put up a picture of my Lamborghini Aventador with the doors up, with the watch on, with the thing, dude, that thing's gonna crack thousands. It's gonna fucking skyrocket, right?
Yeah.
But here's the absolute truth behind that. Coming here, taking, and a couple hours out of my Monday to come help you out, come on your show, do whatever we're doing here, compared to like the car or the consumerism of material assets, this is going to have a better return on investment for my contentment and my happiness than fucking the stupid car.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
1000%.
And I learned that 17 years ago when I was new to recovery, and I had people that were helping me, and I couldn't figure out why they were helping me. And they said, "Kid, I'm helping you to help you, but I'm helping me more than I'm helping you."
Yeah.
And I was like, what does that mean? And then they gave me the opportunity after a little while to go help other people myself.
Yeah.
And so the first time that like I and this actually stems into my success in my business story, which was the first time that like I was able to go help another addict, another alcoholic, and use my experience and my time, and this guy couldn't offer me anything. The feeling that it gave me of like the uplift, or like almost made me high to be able to, you know, help somebody else. I became, you know, somewhat addicted to that.
Yes.
And that turned into spending all my time helping addicts, which then led to the start of my business, which was starting my home state's first sober living house.
Yep.
And so like just the principle of altruism and giving back and helping other people has been there since the day that I changed my life.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
And it's just so much, dude, I have fucking everything.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I got a 92-foot boat, I got cars, I got, you know, house, I got just fucking so much shit, it's crazy, bro. And at a certain point, you get to see what actually has value, right? Like, the boat's cool. You know why I like the boat so much?
Why?
Because I get to give it to other people.
Yeah.
Yesterday I had, I don't even know, 40 people. They're all having a great, I could give a fuck if I'm on a boat or I'm sitting in a shack, bro. I swear to God.
Yeah.
But to be able to sit there and watch everyone having a great time, having a blast, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why I like that stuff. But I think there's a big lesson there in like how we operate. And I think that the world would be a little better place if everyone moved with more respect, more honor, more pride, a code of conduct, and just generally fucking looking out for each other.
Yeah.
You know? And if we could all incorporate that, I don't know. That's the stuff that I believe in. That's my ethos. That's my fucking creed.
Yeah.
That's what I stand on.
Yeah, I love that.
And so, you know, happy to do it, man. Happy to be here.
Means the world to me. You really have no idea, especially you guys watching this. I've done recently, this last year, me and Esteban have taken off. We met some really successful people, good money, good cars, houses, but like, it seems like every time the connections are getting more and more genuine. And I was at a certain point, I was like, man, I don't know, like if getting super rich, if that's all it is, just that surface level, the cars and houses, like, I don't know if that's what I want. You know what I mean? But then I meet someone like you that's like, I'll just do it, dog. I'll just pull up. You know what I mean? I fuck with your energy. I'll pull up. And like, it was really reassuring, like super reassuring. So I super appreciate it.
Yeah, no doubt.
Man, you know, I was listening to your story, and in one of the moments, because faith is really big, it's kind of like, you know, I don't know, some people they'll kind of joke, you know, because you'll hear different individuals like, man, you only need faith if you're super poor. And we grew up super poor at a certain point, you know what I mean, for basically the last half of my childhood. But you had made this statement more so of like, when you're in a foxhole, you can't be an atheist. And it hit me, you know what I mean? I'm sitting there taking notes, and I'm like,
yeah,
dude, like, because I like, you know, in the grand scheme of things, you know, anybody watching this, you might feel like, man, I'm down and out, I'm bad, I didn't make any sales this week, my company's not doing well, but like, bro, you went through some shit. And it's just people out there, you know, I really think about it, there's people like, not in America, like, you really going through some shit, man. But like, when I was listening to that story, and I'm just like trying to imagine overdose after overdose, you're trying to recover, the police are out looking for you, you're hiding in a closet, it's all night. I couldn't imagine, every second had to have felt like an hour. And you're just sitting there like,
kidding,
bro, God, if you're out there, you gotta be real. And now I feel like I see that faith still, you know, in your life. How has that played an impact? I know what it did for you then, maybe that salvation and that just like getting sober on a couch, that was insane. But like now, how does that affect your life with making your decisions and who you are and who Eric is?
Man, it's everything. I mean, I if you watch my content, if you follow me at all, you'll see that I unapologetically talk about my relationship with God. Like, I don't shy away from that issue at all. You know, God changed my life. Dude, I put everything that I could possibly think of between me and addiction and fucking ran it over. I put relationships. I put girlfriends. My mom wasn't really around too much by that point in my life, but it was my dad. My dad, me and him were like fucking best friends, bro. That was my guy.
Yeah.
Right? Destroyed the relationship in the face of addiction. Would have never done anything to hurt my dad. I loved him.
Yeah.
But it wasn't powerful enough. Dude, my own life. I'm waking up on life support, bro, with fucking, my arms are so chewed up from shooting drugs that they had to stick the IV in my neck. And I'm pulling the fucking thing out of my neck, like, what's up, dog? I'm out of here. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And rolling out of the hospital, fucking bleeding out the side of my neck to go get high.
Yeah.
Like, I'm facing cases. I'm looking at prison time. My point is that at a certain point, you run out of things, and all that's left is God.
Yeah.
And so the second that I surrendered to God, and the second that in that closet I reached out to him, I learned an important lesson without even knowing that I learned it at that moment, which was that God does not make too hard a terms for those who seek him. And he loves us, no matter what.
Yeah.
And so it also ties back into what we were just talking about helping people. And so I walk out of there and I get a day sober. Then I get a week sober. Then I get 2 weeks sober. Then I get a month sober. Bro, when I walked up to get that 30-day coin at that AA meeting, since I was 14 years old, I'd never not gotten fucked up for 30 days.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd put, you know what I mean? Like, it was just, the evidence of this thing working in my life was so crystal clear. And so then as I've kept prayer, meditation, service work, and I haven't done this perfectly. Like,
Yeah.
I've had times in my life where I've walked in sobriety over the last 7 years that I've like walked through the darkness and fucking, done stuff I'm not proud of. And it hasn't been like this perfect, biblical, holy fucking walk at all by any means. You know what I mean? But one thing that I know that is true is that when I look back at my life, at the times where I'm most aligned with my relationship with God is when I'm my best self. And every time I depart from that, and I'm like, I got it. I'm good. I get myself in a foxhole. I get myself in some bullshit.
Yeah.
And I always get my ass whooped and end up running back and being like, God, coming back to basics. But like, look at what's happened in my life. Like, look at my life, bro. I shot heroin every day for 7 fucking years. I used to rob people fucking cold-blooded, face-to-face, nose-to-nose. Give me your fucking wallet right now.
Yeah.
I'm coming for it. And to have any hesitation that God is, has been central and impactful to my life, it's just fucking, it's undeniable at this point. You know what I mean? Like, there's not a single fucking fraction of doubt at all that I have that, like, he's responsible for all of this, Yeah. It's all a gift. It's all just a blessing, which ties into helping people. It's like, all right, you have this amazing life. You were saved, right? That's why the name of my boat is the bonus round. Like,
That's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? On borrowed time.
Yeah.
Wasn't supposed to be here.
Yeah.
Right? And so, like, how do you repay God? What does God need from you? God don't need fucking nothing. His kids do.
Yeah.
His kids do. And so
real.
you have to be awake enough that, like, to put yourself, sometimes you show up to positions and show up to things and, you just look for ways that you can be of service and help his kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
real.
how fucking I'm able to show gratitude and repay him for this unbelievable life that I have.
Yeah, that's real, man.
Yeah.
That's real. I wanna kind of just immediately put some value out there from a post I seen on your page, and I think you posted with your son, and you were like, you need to audit your circle on how they treat their kids, because that's how they're gonna treat you. And that hit me. You know what I mean? Especially for like the younger group. That's kind of who I influence. I mean, you may not have kids, but I look at it as like, I'll ask guys like, how do they treat their parents, regardless of the relationship? Because I've had off and on with mom and dad, but like the closest people to you, how they treat those people, odds are years down the road when the honeymoon phase is out in your business relationship and your personal relationship, that's how they'll treat you. And I love looking at it from a different lens of you're like, man, you got to audit the people and how they treat their kids, because that's how they'll treat you. Can you elaborate more on that, or is that it? You know what I mean? As simple as it is.
I mean, it's pretty cookie cutter. When people show you who they are, believe them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of people assign, they want to see things of people that don't exist because they want them to be successful. They want them, and I just, over the years, I've learned like, yo, see through the smoke and see people for who they are because they're showing you. And so for me, like one of those tells, and there's a lot of different things that I look at that I pay attention to, is the relationship that you have with your children. If you're not good to your kids, you are not in my world.
Yeah.
Because how can I ever expect you to be better to me than your own fucking children? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't be good to your kids. I can't trust you. It's pretty simple like that.
Real simple.
Yeah, it's real simple like that. And like, but that whole premise of like audit your circle, I think that's one of the biggest lessons that I've had. It's like who you have in your world and who you have in proximity. It matters so much. Like it's so important. And so I tell people all the time, I'm like, yo, the easiest thing and the fastest thing you can do to produce practical results in your life is taking inventory of who's in your world and the influence that they have on you. You step to me with that negativity, that gossip, that, judgment, criticism, any of that stuff, you're out. Like, we're not aligned.
Yeah.
I gotta go. I just can't have it. And so I think another further thing on that principle of autopsying how people treat their children is I watch how people treat other human beings.
Yeah.
Just treat other human beings like
it's
intense. It's intense looking at a man and saying, "Yo, you're not that good to your son or your daughter," and taking that inventory of someone. Another simpler thing that I watch is I like to watch people when they go out and how you treat the waiter, the waitress, how you are with the valet kid, with the hostess, the fucking janitor, whoever. You know what I mean?
Yes,
and
sir.
so that's another human being, and whether you respect that person and how you conduct yourself with that person tells me a lot about you, your character, your moral compass, your integrity, your heart, who you are as a person, what's actually going on in there. And so just having dialed and focused eyes to be able to see people for who they are, not who they present to be. Because everyone's walking around presenting a fucking stage character in this world. I like to wipe that aside and go, what are the data points that I can calculate in on who you actually are, right? Because you know how it is. You meet somebody and it takes 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, and all of a sudden the mask comes off.
Yes.
And you're like, huh. And I think the difference between me at 25 and me at 39 was at 25, I believed a lot of that mask. And you know what's funny about it is that...
I've believed so much.
You know what's funny about that is like you believe it because it's more comfortable and you want to.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the truth hurts. And sometimes you look at someone and you're like, yo, dog, you're kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I love
Bro,
you,
yeah.
but you're kind of a piece of shit and I gotta go.
Yeah.
We are not aligned. And so I've had to make some really hard decisions in life repetitively over and over and over again because my man, eagles fly alone. You know what I mean? And sometimes they meet up and they see each other and there's a high amount of respect and they can see each other for who and what they are, but they fly at a fucking higher altitude.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's lonely because you have to make a decision to leave the rest of these fucking crows and pigeons and fucking other stupid ass birds, vultures, fucking all of them behind. And not to say that you're better than anybody, but just staying fucking truly committed to your morals and your ethics and your character and your integrity and doing what you know is right, despite the consequence. Fuck them. It always plays out in time. Always.
Yes, sir.
That's what I've come to know over years of doing that. And the times that I've compromised or made self-sacrifice or made excuses for people or believed the mask or gone with the masses, gone with the crowd, gone with what's cool when bro, every single time I fucking regretted it. I've come to a point where I'm like, this ain't me. This isn't, you know what I mean?
Yep.
It just ain't it.
Do you think, because this is something that I'm like trying to figure out and trying to teach to my guys that haven't made six figures yet, about to make six figures, and even myself, I start to calculate. I'm like, man, because I was telling one of our guys earlier, I was telling Esteban, I was like, you got to be careful in regard to the dollar that you take, because I believe I look at really rich guys, and you can start to just pick what dollar you want to take. Don't want to take your dollar because I don't like your character. Do you think it's starting out you can be that selective as well? Like, should you build that way? Like, or when you're so broke and hungry, like, yo, I need to get every dollar that I can, even if I don't like that person, I need to get a sale.
You can never sell your soul to get it. The most important fucking thing in a day is in that last little bit that we're awake, right? And you get into bed and you put your head on your pillow and you reflect on your day. And this is it for me. And you ask yourself, am I proud of me? Am I proud of the day that I lived? Am I okay with the things that transpired today?
Yeah.
I take the moral inventory of the last 24 hours. No matter what is fucking going on, how much money I made, how much money I lost, in that moment, if I'm like, nah, I'm good, I'm in check, I'm in line with my moral compass, and me and God are fucking cool, I sleep like a baby. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And so I don't know the exact answer to taking the dollar from this guy or that guy, but the consciousness, right? Your conscience is the authentic voice of God.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you already know. When you get quiet and you get still. That's why do people hate meditation?
It reveals their true selves.
It's fucking quiet.
Yeah.
This gets quiet. When this gets quiet, this gets loud.
Yeah.
And so making space for the world to get quiet so your heart can get loud. What's that thing saying to you? Pay attention to listen to that. It's never going to let you down. Your gut, your intuition, your instinct. You already know, you know? And so the fact, and the funny thing is, you run it back, the fact that you even raised the question, you already have the fucking answer.
Yeah.
A lot of my coaching, bro, is I look at guys and go, what do you think? And they go, fuck, I already know.
Yeah.
I don't even have to tell you the answer. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And they're like, all right. I'm like, well, go do that. Go do what's right.
Yeah.
What are you
real.
battling with? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This, like, what I want and what's right, what's easy and what's convenient, and what's hard, difficult, and challenging, but the right thing to do.
Yeah.
I don't know.
1,000%. When I was listening to your story, you had said when you exited from the company, you came into a bunch of money, and you took a little time. I swear, I don't know if it was a month or something, which doesn't sound like, much time at all. And you just kind of chilled. And then you found yourself just kind of getting like frustrated, almost even dark. And you're like, man, I got to get back in the game. For those that are like watching, the young guys that have a destination, young girls, they have a destination, or people right now, they might have a destination in mind. Share that with them, because you got back in the game. I know you're in the process of, how many years are you back into building another sober company? Correct? 2 years. Yep. So I know that's still got to be massive building phase right now, I would imagine. You guys are still
huge.
Building
hardcore.
Yeah.
We're building, have one active facility, acquired another one, in the middle of 2 acquisitions, in the middle of 2 more startups, all around the country.
Yeah.
And so it's busy. But listen, what happened when I sold my company is that, when I started that first sober house, I was given a mission, right? I needed to help people. I needed to build this business. The business helped addicts and alcoholics. And I scaled that thing and grew it, and every day it was just a mission after mission after mission after mission. And so when I sold it, that's exactly, I was a man without a mission.
Yeah.
I was a dude without a mountain to climb. And so you put that very nicely for me, and I appreciate it. It was actually, months, which went by pretty quickly, but I wasn't just chilling. I was out till 5 a.m. I was stayed sober the whole time, but I was drinking Red Bulls, going to the clubs, doing this, doing that. And I got to the point, and dude, I was like sleeping late, doing whatever the fuck I wanted to do. I literally had the ability to never work again if I never wanted to, go out every night, had nowhere to be, had no one to answer to, could wake up, go to the gym, go out to lunch, meet up with this person, meet up with that person, do a late dinner. We're pulling up at, one of the nice restaurants at 10, 11 p.m. We're hitting the club at 1 in the morning. I'm out there. We're going to the next spot. We're doing this. We're doing that. I'm hanging out with celebrities. I'm hanging out with, the content looks great. It looks fun. It's like, this life that a lot of people might think is like their dream. Like they are fucking millions and millions and millions stacked in just liquid cash in a fucking bank account. Nothing to worry about, doing whatever you want. And I would wake up in the morning and I would be like, this sucks. This is fucking terrible. Like, it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
And I got bored and felt really lost. And I had to get back in because it's for a love of the process.
Yeah.
It's a challenge. It's a mission. I think everybody needs a purpose. Everybody needs something to do. You need a mountain to climb. And that's why you have to have your next thing. It's never going to fucking end.
Yeah.
What happens to me without that, right? I fall apart. It's miserable. And so that was the crux of like, probably the decision to get back in and build businesses and help people and grow my personal brand and focus on personal development and like really like be an outlier to this Miami thing. Like everyone kind of associates me with Miami, but I'm Miami. Sobriety is a superpower, and let's do this and let's build and let's, you know what I mean? All just this kind of different in my own lane messaging. That was all built in that time frame. And since then, bro, honestly, you look at my world and this culture of Miami, that, to the best of my knowledge, didn't exist, or it wasn't as public or as organized as it is now prior to me really doubling down and some other people on making it a thing.
Yeah.
And now, like, a lot of people look at Miami and, you can come here and fucking do all the stupid shit, but, like, this brand of Miami as this personal development, entrepreneurship, sobriety, like, fitness, getting after it, all that. But we started that shit.
Dude, I was going to say, it's 100%. Been a wave. I came here when I was 21, and I think that was like the last time I like really partied. We took my boy to 11 or something. I don't know. But it's been a wave because I was like, dude, Miami's toxic and everything like that. But every time I come down here, I've been coming down last couple months just to network and meet up. And it's like, dude, and I'm trying to like pinpoint who are kind of some OGs and godfathers of like starting this. And I'm looking, dude, I'm like, this has got to be him. This is because you're most genuine. I'm not even saying you're most genuine Miami and probably entrepreneur that we've probably met since, we met some big names over here recently, but you got to be number one most genuine, down to earth, dude. And but
standing on business on that,
literally, dude,
like
literally.
Unapologetically.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking about being sober. I'm talking about having a relationship with God. I'm talking about having principles, a code of conduct.
And that's your mission with is it your new company? Is it the Ripple Effect with this one?
Yeah.
And like you toss a stone in every ripple. You literally have created a ripple effect in Miami, bro. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because it's like, somebody walk up to me in the gym this morning in boxers, like, what do you do? Networking. He's working out. He's, personal development coach. I'm like, dude, there's a reason everybody's doing this now. Cause there's also, as we wrap up, there was a post you put up about the people that fake it. And I want to elaborate on that simultaneously with this, because it's like getting into sales young, a lot of the guys will tell you, spend your money, get the car, get the house, even if you got to rent it, and just lie about it. Just fake it. I've never been that person. I've always been like, hey, I rent the Lambos. I don't have a Lambo yet. I don't have a big crib yet. I got gross money coming in, but I don't got a bunch of liquid money. So it's cool and all. I'm doing a lot better than most 25-year-olds, but I've always kept it a bean. I've always kept it pretty 100 because it never felt real to me. And I grew up on food stamps, so like our food stamp card would get declined. You know what I mean? Like shit was rough. You know what I mean? Like if our food stamp card would get declined, bro, I'm cool. But so it's like, dude, but it's becoming more and more genuine down here. But you got your fakers. What do you got to say to the kids out there that think they got to fake it and they're going to build this lifestyle off faking it to make it?
I don't think you have anybody fooled. If you had asked me to come do the podcast and I'd pulled up on your page and you had one of those pages, I probably wouldn't have even accepted the message.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, you know what I mean? But that wasn't what I saw when I got over there. It was fucking you being real And that's why I said, I fuck with your energy, bro. I'll pull up. All good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so you just got to be you. Like any level of dishonesty in your life, you're selling your soul for. Like you can't practice dishonesty and be in alignment with character and integrity simultaneously. And so if you're presenting a facade, you've already departed from your moral compass. And you just have to keep it real. Like, I'm fucking so much more interested in following you for the next 10 years from where you're at to watching you build authentically with transparency and vulnerability and watching that journey, rooting you on, than I am seeing you with some stupid fucking rented Lambo on a fucking 4-hour yacht charter. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, remind us not to rent the Lambo next week.
but if you want to rent the Lambo, just say I rented the fucking
shit's rented,
Lambo because
dog,
I
yeah.
wanted to rip this thing around and I'm
Yeah.
trying to feel what it feels like. And,
Yeah.
But don't stand in front of it like you fucking own the thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And there's a difference in the presentation. I'm not saying don't rent the Lambo. I own
Just
a
be
fucking.
honest, yeah.
I own a Lambo. I haven't driven my Lambo in a month, bro.
Yeah. They hurt.
It's just a, you know, I thought about driving it here. I was like, oh, then I gotta park the thing and then fuck it. You know what I mean? I was like, I think it's just stupid shit. But you just have to be you. Authenticity is what's gonna win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just authenticity and being you. Like, because here's the other thing. Like, what type of pussy shit is that? Like, it's all fear-based insecurity.
Yep.
You're gonna compensate over here, but what's wrong with you in your real life?
Yeah.
Fucking 25 years old, dog. Like this fucking idea that everyone's supposed, and that's why I talk about this other thing that I'll get into in a second. But this idea that like you're supposed to be this multimillionaire with fucking yachts and fucking Lambos and mansions and fucking jets and all this shit at 25, like, bro, that's not real.
Yeah.
There are very, very, very few people that find a niche or some sort of fucking gold rush that hit that. Do they exist? Of course they do. There's a fucking exception to every rule. But for the majority of people that are going to become a high net worth, highly successful person, you are going to eat shit for a fucking decade.
Yeah.
A decade.
Yep.
At 35 years old, 10 years past where you're at right now, nobody knew who the fuck I was. Think about that.
Yeah.
10 years from where you're sitting today, nobody knew. Not on an Instagram, you know, locally, regionally,
Yeah.
in my backyard. I was in the news and I was doing all this stuff, but like, dude, it takes a long time.
Yeah.
Just be you. Just document the journey. Like I don't have a lot of regrets. One of my regrets is not creating content in a very authentic manner starting 10 years ago.
Yeah.
When this wave really started. Like how cool that would be,
be a fucking
to
movie.
look back and like see the vlogs
Yeah, bro.
in low quality shit with me sitting at my kitchen table at fucking midnight,
Bro.
working the 16th hour, fucking telling the camera, but just between me and you, like, I don't know if I'm making payroll this week.
Yeah.
Like
Been there.
I fucking didn't sleep last night.
Yeah.
Like I gotta show up to work tomorrow and fucking pretend like fucking everything's all good for the team, but like, yo, I'm stressed.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
That's where I'm
Like,
at right now.
100, but just be fucking, dude. That's way more interesting.
Yeah.
I'll watch that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And root you on and like blah blah blah. But like all
Yeah,
this
bro.
other stupid shit that's just so disingenuine. It's like, yeah, I don't know. It's just fucking.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. You lost, bro.
Yeah.
You lost. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
you
man.
need to dial in. Like, stop with the fake shit. But at the same time, I think that young men in the grind, in the hustle, in entrepreneurship, they have it tough because you're in a very competitive world.
Yeah.
And so you look around and, like, I can't tell you how many 20-something-year-old kids, like, not that they're competing with me, but they're personally, but they're competing with my avatar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Meaning like fucking this guy who actually has the boat, actually has it. And it's like, my man, you have to dial it back and understand that fucking I ate shit for way longer than you realize.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have a hard time calibrating that, like, do you know what I was doing at 25 years old? I was like driving a used car, living in a rented place, working 16 hours a day, 7 days a fucking week, working holidays, like fucking poor, dude, worried about making my fucking rent payment.
Yeah.
That's where I was at 25.
It's real.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so just fucking do that.
Yeah. It's pure. It's pure.
And understand that, like, the journey's supposed to take a long time.
Yes.
You're supposed to. You're supposed to fucking earn it.
Yes.
I really, really hate and despise this social media messaging that, like, everyone's supposed to be a millionaire by the time they're 24.
The microwave journey.
Shit ain't fucking real, bro. That's not business. That's not entrepreneurship. It's not. It's harder than it fucking looks, and it's going to take longer than I fucking think it's going to take.
And it's hard to keep, too. I just saw, and it was kind of crazy.
Fuck, bro.
I saw Red Lobster went out of business, like multi-billion-dollar company goes out of business. I click on it, I was like, who the multi-billion-dollar company goes out of business? Red Lobster filed for bankruptcy. They only got 30 million cash. Still a lot of money still, but still, it's like, I was telling my guys, because some of them will make $100,000 and then they'll just go party for a month. I'm like, listen, enjoy, you know what I mean? But just know, like, dude, anybody could fail. Anybody could lose it overnight. And that's what I said. I was like, it's going to take decades to build anything beautiful. It's going to take time, but you can lose it overnight. You can lose
Every
it overnight.
day is a fight, bro.
Yeah.
Business, and that's a lot of, like, I try to put out as much content around this as possible, but here's another thing that's funny about Instagram world. If my content pandered to what people want to think instead of the truth of what it actually is, I'd probably be 100 times more popular than I am. But I'm not on here talking about, oh yeah, you can be fucking super successful overnight and make millions of dollars and blah, 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 blah. I'm the guy telling you, like, yo, this is a dogfight.
Yeah.
This is an absolute dogfight. It's hard. You're gonna get your ass kicked. And like, just speaking the truth about this, to try to level set people's minds of, like, to know what they're signing up for, because it's painful to watch guys, and you have a good head on your shoulders, but I watch a lot of guys your age in that game, in the hustle, like, fuck, why aren't I there yet? And everyone else is there. Like, no, they're not.
Yeah.
They're fucking pretending.
Yeah.
Like, that's just not real life.
1,000%.
You know?
Dude, the one thing that really moved me, and just because this is when I knew you was real, is you put a tribute at the end of your story for your first love, singing the song on the guitar. I think her name started with a T or something.
It's Anita.
Brother, I'm on a plane, like, I'm a lover boy, bro. I was like,
Yeah.
fuck, dude. You know what I mean? I was like, this is a real ass dude. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
this has been incredible. It's been moving. It's been reassuring. It's been encouraging. It's given me fuel because I'm in a hard ass time in my life right now. See all this money come in. I spent it. It's gone. You know what I mean? So it's like we're building. We got good things going and good relationships building. But it's
Let me tell you something about that, though, bro. I built a business that I was in my business for 13 years, 2 months, from start to finish. October 2008, I moved into a building and started the state of New Hampshire's first sober living home. I lived there for 2 years. December 21st of 2021, I sat at a conference table as they rounded off and signed off on closing for a $115 million transaction. I remember the fucking tone of voice that the guy said, fucking, the wires have been initiated. Congratulations. I was fucking poor for most of that. Like, I don't think a lot of people understand that. It's not that I was actually poor. It's that growth and building costs money. And so you're turning the money, but you're putting it back into yourself, and you're building a foundation, and you're developing personally, you're developing your skill set, your resiliency, your ability to navigate adversity and overcome that. That's why I love the name of the show so much, is because my entire journey has been nothing but fucking adversity. It's just to the point where I'm so mentally tough that it doesn't even matter anymore.
Unfazed.
Right? Like, cool, another problem. Fuck it. I was getting sued this morning, bro, in the gym. No, I'm not even kidding. Like, by an employee, it's just nonstop bullshit every fucking day.
Absolutely.
And so, and that's what I mean about the reality of it. Like, yeah, your money's tied up, but like, it's going back in and growing and snowballing, and now you pivot, maybe you do your own thing, or you figure out what the next thing is, and like, and all of that. But like you're doing better than you think you are.
Yeah.
And especially like when you look out at the world and what you're talking about this fake fucking shit. And Miami's the epicenter of it. Like, bro, most of that's not real.
Yeah.
Every fucking guy that I know that has a high 8-figure, 9-figure, or even 10-figure net worth, it took them a long time. They look at me, bro, and they're like, fuck, you did it fast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was 36 when I sold.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? 11 years past where you're at today.
Yeah.
I was still fucking... when I was 25 years old, my man, I was in a rented place, and I was still like on a very strict budget for the amount of groceries I could buy every week. That's where I was at 25.
It's real.
It's time.
Yeah.
You're like, you're rich in the commodity of time.
Yeah.
I think that's what a lot of young men don't understand is that, like, bro, you have so much fucking time to get it done.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, out of respect for Mr. Spofford's time, we're going to wrap up here. So thank you for another episode of AK Financial. Thank you, Mr. Spofford. Where can people find you? You got anything coming up?
Oh, man, Instagram is where I'm most active, at Eric Spofford. Put out content on YouTube as well. Always doing events, and so pull up on the page. You'll see what's next.
Yes, sir.
Yep, just came off running a couple masterminds, so we're going to take a little break, but I'm sure we'll be announcing some new shit soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you again for your time. Peace.
Yeah, peace.